Hi, welcome back to the channel that doesn't have the best lighting um, or the best audio. That's me. So yesterday I reported about Poppy's statement, and there's been a fair bit that's happened since then, and I'm just going to run through it. Repzilla covered this whole thing in a lot of detail. I'll leave a link to his video below, but I think there's a few things that I would like to also contribute, which is why I'm making this video. There will also be a link to yesterday's video in the description. Identity of the abuser got revealed yesterday as Josh Moran. Now, a lot of people are like, who is this guy? I've been following him for a while on Instagram because he got brought up in, or he got mentioned in association with Titanic or someone a few months ago in a group chat. I think there's like photos with Titanic or something. And the reason why I say abuser in quotations is because it's a bit iffy, because the case was thrown out of court, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. But I'm going to read Josh Moran's statement to you now. His official post on Twitter, which was also posted on his Instagram, which says, Mariah's statements are false. Please see the attached, which shows that the restraining order notice that was filed against me by Corey Michael Mixter was denied on 9/14/15. Please also see attached, which shows that the order of protection filed by Mariah R. Pereira was dismissed on 10/7/15. The reason that it was denied and dismissed was because there was no truth to any of the allegations. There's a reason that Poppy's post is cropped. She doesn't want you to know the truth. This is a desperate ploy to detract from their own pending legal issues, which I have nothing to do with. Mariah and Corey are both facing lawsuits right now. This is an obvious pivot to try and divert their public attention to me. I haven't spoken to these people in like 3 years. They made sensationalized claims about me years ago that were rightfully found to be untrue. I had my day in court. I was completely cleared. I wasn't charged with the crime, nor was I ever contacted by the police. The accusations by Mariah are just flat out lies. These people have caused a lot of harm to me. I've taken the high road and moved on. I ask you to please see the truth and leave me be. So that was put on Twitter shortly after the the image of the court date or whatever, the restraining order thing. Also, if you're looking at that and you're like, oh, Poppy's 20, it was done in 2015. And just because it was done in 2015 doesn't make it invalid or anything. But the truth to the lawsuit is that Larzago is, was actually going to, I'm not sure if it's still happening, work with Josh Moran on a project called Mia Feral. There's no information about that online. It's just, it was rumored, and there's a photo of him holding Larzago's dog. And there's also a photo that leaked last night of the two together. So they have been in contact and stuff. The difficult part is that if you look at Larzago's statement and Poppy's statement, you see that Poppy is kind of throwing some of the things that Marzago claimed back at Marzago, saying that she did those things too. And this is where it gets a bit tricky, because Marzago has actual evidence, well, photographic evidence of Titania's abuse and such. And Mariah doesn't have photographic evidence of Josh's abuse. But that doesn't mean it's true. So it's all a bit up in the air. I think it's a bit unfair to chuck blame at anyone, but I think it's obvious that Poppy is trying to create a diversion either way. And shortly after, I think it was shortly after Josh Moran came out with that statement, there was a video released of Josh Moran bashing Titania Sinclair. This was exactly a week, well, according to the dates at the bottom of the video. I'll leave a link to that video below. It was exactly a week before restraining order stuff was filed, so that makes me think that it was filed because of that. Maybe. I think there's a chance, and I know Repzilla mentioned this, but I think that there's a chance that Moran might have found out about Marzago's abuse at the hands of Titanic and bashed him or hit him, as the video shows, and that the reason why the restraining orders were taken out against Moran were because both Poppy and Sinclair didn't feel safe, because obviously Moran knew their address, or Titania's address. I'm not sure if Poppy was living there or not, and that was to stop any further retaliation from his potential abuse of Marzago. I'm not trying to justify anyone's actions, I'm just trying to piece things together. It's very unfair to say that an abuse allegation didn't happen just because there is not enough evidence. So I'm not going to do that. I think that overall this whole Poppy statement and the whole potential of the majority of it being false, or coming out as being proven false, potentially is a very positive thing for Marzago's case. Let me know what you think in the comments below, because I'm really interested to talk about this. There have been some people who have said that, like, it's not fair to just assume that it didn't happen because it got thrown out of court, which is completely fair enough. And yeah, like, I'm not sure if you are, but I'm trying to piece the puzzle together. I feel that there's still a bit more to kind of happen. But the one last thing I want to address, which I see as a flaw, and I don't think anyone has actually addressed it, is Poppy stated. Sorry, my recording stuffed up, so I'm recording a second part to this video, which is just the end bit. Also, if it like freezes, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Poppy was talking about her concealing her identity and stuff because of her past history of being abused, which is fair enough, except I'm not sure that really adds up. So, after Marzago's abuse, alleged abuse, I guess I should say, she ended up going off the internet, MIA off the internet, pretty much. And what Poppy is saying is that in retaliation to her abuse, she decided to seek fame, basically. I think it's almost impossible that it doesn't add up. Obviously, she filed the complaint thing, legal document against Moran with her real name, obviously. At that time, she was operating under the name Poppy, and then she decided, well, she went and continued on, and she's famous as Poppy, and I just don't, I just don't get how she expected to have fame, even though obviously it was unprecedented, have fame and yet not have that person find out who she was, even though she didn't change her stage name. That probably makes absolutely no sense, but I think that that part of the statement makes no sense. It is kind of not a good idea to lie in a legal document, which is why I think that this wasn't like a lawsuit or anything like that, anything that like seriously legal, because it has hardly any merit to it, and I think you can get in trouble for lying on a legal document. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I just think that's how it works. So that'll be why that isn't put out, and also I'm pretty sure that Titanic wrote the majority of her statement, even if she was saying the things. I feel that he wrote it. She addresses herself as Poppy, and not by her real name, even though it's now obviously out there. The next thing she tweeted showed her full name. She also doesn't refer to Titanic by his full name, but the next thing she posted referred to him by his full name. And then the thing after that also referred to him by his full name. Just many kind of inconsistencies that seem a bit suspicious. And the other thing which people have been mentioning is that why would the video of Moran assaulting Sinclair be put on Poppy's Twitter when she's not in the video? I don't understand how it's associated with her. I don't get it. I don't understand. I think it's a really stupid move. I think they've absolutely shot themselves in the foot, and Poppy is over. There, I called it. Poppy's over. There's no recovering from this at all. Hashtag Poppy is over party. Hashtag Titanic. Sinclair is over party. Hashtag Mars Island returns. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm just completely head fucked by all this. But I'm happy to talk about it. My Instagram is at MarzyYT, and my Twitter is MarzyYouTube. Do you want to talk about it? Just hit me up, just whatever. Bye.